There's some high reverb there. Let people come in because I'm late, because I'm always late. Always late. Yeah. Might help if I'm signed in. Do, 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 do. Chubby boy, you always making me blush. I'm happy you're here. Let me know if you can hear me, okay? Cozy, nice to see you. We got the multi-stream set up. I'm going to be doing something a little bit different tonight. We're not gaming, but we are doing a Saturday Night Main Review of sorts. Let me pull that up. Hey, Cozy Ghost Race. Senor says Liv has always been Rhea's daughter, nothing new. Yeah, and I was really surprised she took the pin on that. I'm glad Roxanne didn't get the pin, but it's just really interesting she took the pin on that. And people think that might increase her chances at the Royal Rumble, but I think her chances actually went down a little bit, and I'll talk about that later. So let me kind of get into here. Because we got something new. Since I am not going to be gaming, I have to tweak my arrangement a little bit. I'm not happy completely with the setup, but it's a work in progress. I'm going to decide if I want to do this with a Royal Rumble. So I need to have some visuals about my voice, so here we go. Let me actually go share this on the X while I'm thinking about it. Is it snowing where you are? We're actually getting snow in Texas. Alright, give me the link, buddy. Come on. Okay, I'll copy that link. I'm gonna go over here. I said copy it, bruh. And see here. That better be my actual thing. I'm gonna check something real quick. One moment before I really get started. Because why is it giving me a gaming? Okay. Okay, that works. Okay. Go here. Ugh, so much noise. Bear with me. I am never... Okay. Let me go ahead and get started, shall we? Jacob says the tape episode of AAA is on now and the WAA is 3 minutes. Yeah, I have to catch that later. I know some other stuff came out on it. Senor said, did you see Don's video talking about his uncle? Yeah, I saw bits and pieces of that. Khalib says, well, what does that mean for Raquel and Liz and Roxanne's friendship now that they lost? I'm going to get into that because I do think there's some interesting implications for this because Raquel did not cost Liv and Roxanne like I thought she would, or Roxanne ended up costing the match and she didn't. So it's really interesting on what will happen now. But I'll get on that. But let me go ahead and get started, shall we? Could the story be that will be told is that Liv Morgan was the one who let the Judgment Day down, despite her trying to take charge and become the leader, quote unquote. After taking the pin from Rhea Ripley, could we see the start of Liv Morgan's fall from grace? Because remember, she was being really two-faced in the face with everybody in the Judgment Day. Will the pigeons come home to roost now? Also, some of the predictions that people laughed at me about are starting to line up. Tonight, I want to talk about what actually happened, what fans are missing, and why the fallout matters more than the results. So, welcome. My name is Ryder Maven. I am the host of the Wrestling Receipts podcast. I cover all things Judgment Day. Dom, Liv, Raquel, Finn, JD, Roxanne, Por Carlito, El Grande Americano, Los Americanos, and AEW, even though I'm falling off of the wayside on that. I'm behind, but I'll get to that later. Tonight's Raw review, not Raw, but tonight's Saturday Night main event review is called Is This the End of the Judgment Day? Because this really feels like we are really in that calm before the storm. We did see Liv take an absolutely disrespectful pin to Rhea Ripley. And now we have to worry about the fallout. And I do think we will be getting some interesting fallout. Like, will Liv blame everybody but herself? Or will Roxanne be disappointed that Liv let her down instead of the other way around? But let's go on and get into it, shall we? So, first up, our Judgment Day lone match of the night was Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez versus Rhea Ripley and Io Sky for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Rio wins after Rhea pins Liv in an absolutely disrespectful way. I did not like that pin. I really don't get Rhea with these pins. I don't really like the pretzel pin. I just don't like those types of pin. It just feels really, really disrespectful to whoever takes it. And even though I might chuckle a little bit, like, because I was really happy that Roxanne didn't take the pin like she had been taking the pin. I just don't really like the pretzel pin from Rhea. It just felt completely unnecessary. The match was a banger though. Like, Roxanne was showing out. Like, she was able to put on a performance hanging in there with Rhea and Io Sky. Same thing with Liv, but Roxanne, I think, really showed out. Everybody knows that Liv will hang in there with Io and Rhea, but Roxanne was showing out. She was doing some really nice stuff, nice moves. I always like her windmill hits that she does are so funny and hilarious, but I just love her. But I think she had a really nice opportunity to show out, and she took that opportunity to show out. And they really also need to stop letting Rhea come out first for the pop. Like, what is it? Because whenever Rhea comes out first for the pop, all the audience just gets out there and just yells and screams their heads out because that's what they're waiting for, is just to yell and scream because that's what they've been conditioned to do. So whoever follows Rhea really gets the muted pop. So, and look at what happened to Roxanne and Io. Like, Roxanne is already fighting an uphill battle regarding cheers, and then I know Liv can hold her own on cheers, but it's muted because everybody blew their wad for Rhea. Like, they need to stop doing that. Save Rhea for last. I really don't like that. Like, they could have did something where Rhea comes out last and then everybody cheers in, but at least Roxanne and Liv could have had an adequate opportunity to get their cheers and their pop. Raquel arrived to make the save and was thwarted by Stephanie Bakura. Stephanie looks like she doesn't have the boot anymore. She's not injured anymore. She did run at full tilt at Raquel. Raquel had a really nice save here. I like how she just pulls Rhea and the ref out, so it knocks the referee out. She did this really gnarly power bomb to Io Sky to the floor. She looks amazing. So when she's big mommy cool and big sexy, she's been really looking great, and this is why I have been such an advocate of her winning the title because she's really stepped out. She's showing out, and I think at this point she deserves some kind of title reign. If it's not, it doesn't have to be a long reign, but just something where she can at least be called a champ at this point. Um, I will say that Rhea is too dominant for my liking. Even though Roxanne showed out, even though Liv showed out, when Rhea gets in there, she is too dominant. And I know that that's par for the course for Rhea Ripley, but notice that nobody else gets that kind of a booking. I mean, the other person that gets that is like Jade, but somebody like Raquel is just now getting that dominant booking, but even Raquel doesn't get like this superhuman booking that Rhea does. I really don't like it when everything just comes in. Rhea just grinds to the halt where she can just start razor edge tossing there, and I still claim that's not a razor's edge. That's a border toss. That's from LAX, and if you know LAX from TNA, you know they call that a border toss instead of a razor's edge. Razor's edge to me is like when Razor went up and straight down with it. What Rhea and Damien do is like a border toss. So I don't know why they keep calling it the Razor's Edge. It's like call it a modified Razor's Edge if they really want to get into it, but I digress. But I just don't like how Rhea gets so dominant in the matches. Like, yeah, she's strong, but she ain't stronger than Raquel. Like people who I expect to be dominant, like a Jade, like a Raquel, like a Jordan Grace, like a Lash Legend, like even they get rocked from time to time. They're not so dominant where it's not believable that they'll get put down from time to time. But Rhea is just like I don't think she matches that type anymore. Um, um, Cole also said, if y'all were paying attention to commentary during this match, we had some interesting things. Like Cole said that Liv had been taking care of Dom, and my question is, since when? This is this time where commentary does not match up with what has been shown on social media and on the WWE. We have not heard Liv talking about, oh, I'm taking care of Daddy Dom, like in their brief Judgment Day Clubhouse segments. We haven't gotten that. We haven't gotten anything like that in social media, and more on the social media aspect later, because I will get into that too. So for Cole to say that is like, huh? When? Like, we haven't had any kind of clue or inkling that Liv was taking care of Dom. Like, it's not like I don't want to believe it. Like, if you had put the the wording out there before, like, hey, we saw this on social media, or hey, if we heard about this in the clubhouse scene, then yeah, I would believe it. But when Cole just says stuff out of the blue like that, it's just like, okay, where is this coming from? Also on commentary, they were also talking about the history of Rhea and Judgment Day. So now they want to reference history with Rhea. This should have something that should have been talked about 2 fucking years ago. But nah, now they want to talk about it. Now that Rhea is safely past Liv here, now we want to bring up the history, and that will always annoy me. Like, why are we doing this now? I mean, I should be glad that now we are getting the we are getting the history told here, but still, it's still annoying. Like, this should have been said years ago. Also, regarding regarding that history, that also means that Dom. They also call Dom being Rhea's ex-boyfriend, so pretty much that confirmed that Dom cheated. So for people that were saying that Dom didn't cheat, yeah, he did. Which means what Raquel said about Dom being a cheater ring true again. I'm just saying. Let's see. Also, Liv and Roxanne's matching gear was sick. I love their looks. Like I said, Liv's gears have been eating. So this gear set between Liv and Roxanne. So for as short lived this matching and pairing will be, I love the gear. The gear was nice. I mean, if they continue this in some kind of way for maybe a little bit in the future, hey, I don't mind it because the gears were eating here. And like I said, while Rhea's pin on Liv was disrespectful as fuck, I'm glad Roxanne didn't take the pin. Roxanne did not need to take a pin. I was expecting her to take a pin, so when Liv got pinned, I was like, ooh, bro. Um, I'm glad she didn't take the pin. Roxanne, like Dom, has been taking way too many pins, and y'all know how I feel about people taking way too many pins. If Dom had to go through it, and I didn't like it then, I'm not gonna like it with Roxanne. Um, Liv has been pretty much on the roll, and I guess they had to get that pin out the way for her. But yeah, I'm really glad Roxanne didn't take that pin. Um, Raquel and Stephanie had a nice brief brawl. Like Stephanie was looking smart when she was trying to get Raquel, but Raquel wasn't put off to the point where she was just absolutely obliterated. Like I would assume with like Rhea. You know how when Raquel would go up against Rhea, she would just be completely obliterated, even though that didn't make sense for her stature. Here, you could believe that Stephanie's being smart and taking out Raquel, but Raquel wasn't made to look weak in the process. So that was nice. Um, no one in the Judgment Day cost each other the win. We all kind of came in thinking it maybe it'd have been Raquel costing Roxanne and Roxanne getting pinned, or Roxanne getting pinned and then Lil being upset with her. But no, it was Raquel came out. She did what she needed to do. She took out the ref. She took out Rhea. She took out Raquel. And it's just that Stephanie interfered. So it's not like Stephanie was helping. Well, she was helping Rhea and Io, but it wasn't like her contributing to the ending of the match. It was Liv that got pinned because she tagged in when Roxanne crawled over to her, and she was the one that got pinned. So it was Liv and Liv alone that took the loss on this. Roxanne didn't do anything where she messed up, nor did Raquel. This also could be seen as Liv letting the Judgment Day down, especially since she positioned herself as the Judgment Day leader. Some people are saying this loss positions Liv for a Royal Rumble win, but momentum shifts, if, as I remind y'all, have not really mattered in the WWE for a while now. Remember, it used to be a long time ago, like if you had a loss, it means that you would win the next time. That hasn't been ringing true for a while. Remember, Seth Rollins was winning all the way up until the Money in the Bank, and then he won Money in the Bank. Momentum shifts don't really mean nothing right now. So it used to be like you lose, you win on the next win, or if you win, then you would lose on the next one, but it hasn't been the case. Look at what happened with Rhea and Io with the Kabuki Warriors. The Kabuki Warriors lost to Rhea, and then they would lose to Io, and then they lost the tag team championships right after it. Like, I think Asuka got one win in there, but that wasn't even a momentum shift. That was like a random win, and then it wasn't like the actual win right before the tag team championship match. So momentum shifts hasn't really mattered much in the WWE for like I would say almost the past year now. But yeah, I will get into this a little bit later on the implications for Judgment Day, but I want to do some Saturday Night Main Event quick hits and then some other things before I get back into it. So for quick hits, Cody Rhodes and Jacob Fatu did not start because they decided to brawl all over the ring. I saw Jacob take out a future WWE champion by slamming him into the table, and they brawled all over the ring. I actually like those kinds of brawls because I do like that they went up through the crowd, out to the concourse, in the concession area, went right back down until Drew McIntyre came in and just took them both out, which I think was needed because Drew McIntyre got the taste slapped out of his mouth yesterday by Sami Zayn, so I guess he needed to do that to reassert his dominance. Um, AJ Styles defeated Shinsuke Nakamura because Shinsuke Nakamura had his classic look, and he's still death dropping like the diva that he is. Sami Zayn won the Fatal 4-Way, so he will be facing Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble. I would not put it past them for Sami to lose here and then win the Royal Rumble, like, entered in later on. I wouldn't put it past them. Um, Now I'm going to scoreboard a little bit because I don't want to gloat, but I got a scoreboard a little bit. Um, let's talk some predictions. Um, Despite the noise I've been dealing with, I've been on track with Liv pulling Roxanne to her side. Roxanne and Finn being phased out of direct involvement. Dom still being a potential wild card, and Roxanne being a potential wild card. And I even have a screenshot of a deleted X post where I was called an idiot right before things started to line up. So I'm going to keep that close to see if the other part of that little X post comes true. It's not a victory lap. Just paying attention. Um, yeah. So scoreboard. Um, let's go into some betting odds. Now, Liv Morgan is a favorite along with Bianca Belair. Now, people are thinking, oh, Liv is going to win it. But I have to warn you and be cautious. Even though betting odds can predict a winner, they don't guarantee a winner. That's the difference. Remember that Dom was the favorite going into the triple threat match for the AAA Mega Championship at Triplemania, and he still lost. Also, remember Liv was the favorite heading into the Netflix premiere against Rhea and Ripley and lost. Also, people thought Rhea and Bianca would be one-on-one last year at WrestleMania, and that changed. Um, and then, like last year, Charlotte Flair had a lot more rumors about her winning last year at the Royal Rumble than Liv and Bianca do this year. So while betting odds can help predict the winner, it's not a guarantee. And nothing is guaranteed. Also, Liv losing at Saturday Night Main Event does not guarantee her winning the Royal Rumble later either. So people are saying, well, this ensures that Liv wins, and no, I actually think her chances go down a little bit because she did get pinned, but I think if they wanted to keep her chances up, I think it would have been Roxanne who took the pin and not Liv. Um, and on the same similar train, let's talk about some grumpiness regarding Finn Balor's upcoming face turn, shall we? Um, there are gripes about Finn Bálor in certain spaces turning face. They believe that since he's been a demented demon all year and he has been towards Dom, why is he turning face? I have to remind people that Damian Priest did the exact same thing 2 years ago. Remember, he was just being an absolute horror to Dom and Finn. Like, Dom, he threw under the bus. Finn, he was being just as disrespectful, grabbing his Finn's beard and saying, like, he didn't need help, and yada, 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 yada. So, like, he was being horrible to Dom and Finn, but who ended up being the face at SummerSlam? Or after SummerSlam? Damian. The same thing is happening with Finn. And that's another scoreboard moment for me because I said Finn was going to be turning face because he needed the refresh, first of all. And he needs to be face to enter in a feud with with Dom. Because Dom, they have doubled down with him being a heel. And those promos that he has been cutting in AAA pretty much show that. He's not turning face anytime soon. And the way Rhea is looking, where he's just still bouncing around all over the place due to those sim stills in his knees, then he doesn't look like he's going to be retiring anytime either. So they need to have Dom as a heel for that retirement match. So Dom's not turning face anytime soon. Tweener at the most, but a full face turn, no. And so Finn will have to be the one that turns face. Was he being a demented demon all year? Yeah. And I get the sentiment kind of him, Finn not having, they're saying like Finn won't have to answer to that. Well, look at what Damian did. Damian ever answer to why he threw Dom under the bus that time at the ultimatum? No. It's frustrating, and you think he would get addressed, but probably not. because the WWE is going to WWE, and if it determines that you're going to be a face, you're going to turn face, and this has been they did a path of least resistance with Finn, like they saw his reaction. They have an easier way of turning with Finn's face after what happened in Belfast, and there you go. Social media antics. Dom is still not liking all of Liv's posts. He likes enough before anybody says, well, he liked this post. Yeah, he does like Liv's posts. Usually 30 minutes to an hour later, or a whole day later in some cases. And sometimes he will like other people's posts first before Liv, which is like he was liking like Austin Theory's post before Liv, and then for some reason he wasn't liking Liv's at all. Like I think the last time I checked, he didn't like Liv's post on Instagram, but he was liking Raquel and Finn. And I did see where some people were saying that, oh well, Liv and Dom didn't like Finn's post like after his Belfast post, but Dom did like Finn's post. Like Dom, you see him liking what Finn did in Belfast, and we see him liking Raquel and what she's doing. But Dom would Liv. There's something on going there, and I've said this before. It's something on. I'm not sure what it is. It's very off. But it's something off. It's an undercurrent somewhere, and we'll probably find out about it soon. But I do think he just does just enough to keep up appearances at this moment. Also, in a social media vein, did Liv just utter her famous last words? In a response to Rhea, she said that she never betrayed anyone. Now, you know how betrayal is when it comes to Liv Morgan. I've said before that the Liv Morgan Revenge Tour 2.0 needs weight. Like, if she doesn't have that weight, it's an aesthetic. And what would grant the weight for a Liv Morgan Revenge Tour 2.0? Dom turning on her, cheating on her, or something. It needs to be a significant betrayal. Raquel could be that betrayal, but it doesn't have enough gravitas and weight to it just yet, because Raquel hasn't been just like super supportive where the turn will come out of nowhere. With Dom, it will probably come out of nowhere if that happens. So I have to say, famous last words for you, Liv Morgan, because never betraying everyone. Like I'm kind of expecting her to kind of turn on Raquel, um, in a way, but will that even be considered a betrayal at this point? Especially compared to Dom. And Roxanne would be dangerous because Liv won't see her coming, because Liv has firmly put Roxanne in the little sister box. She thinks she has her control. She thinks she has Roxanne manipulated. And if Roxanne gets out of that box, then she won't know what hit her. And here are some Saturday Night Main Event implications on what can happen on Raw. With Liv taking the pin, this could lead to Liv blaming everyone but herself for the loss. Because remember, Roxanne said, "I would, I won't let you down," and now turns out that it's Liv that kind of let everybody down, because Raquel came in there and did her thing. Roxanne came in and did her thing. It was Liv that came up short. And there is nothing official for Judgment Day as of now. We'll probably find out something tomorrow from Scrap Daddy Adam Pierce, but um, we could end up with just Liv just being upset. Maybe she's talking about everybody. Maybe Finn is down about losing to CM Punk. Maybe Roxanne is down about losing. And then you have Raquel in there upset about Stephanie, and then Liv just comes in and just starts lashing out at everybody, and that puts everybody on pause, because hey, they'd be like, hey, you're the one that took the pin. Like we did what we needed to do, and you took the pin, but you're lashing out at us. So that could end up happening. So that's that. And yes, I don't really think, to be perfectly honest, I kind of don't think Liv wins Royal Rumble here. Can she win it? And there's a huge possibility that she can. Yeah, but at this particular moment, I'm thinking she has a better chance at Elimination Chamber. Because if Liv comes in all hot and bothered on Raw, and she doesn't, and she's lashing out, then who's to say that Raquel and Roxanne toss her out because she's acting that way? And then she could end up winning EC, which is something she never won. And then there's always still the looming threat of Bianca and Tiffany and some other people, even Rhea and Io. Even though Rhea and Io are the tag team champs, I would not put it past the WWE to have Rhea win again, or Io win again, or a Tiffany to win, or a Bianca to win. Like, it's not set in stone that Liv wins. Let's see here. And I had something else I was going to talk about, and I cannot think about it. What was I going to say? Let me let me see. I'm going to answer the questions just a second. Um, Oh yeah, some people were just trying to say that Liv could go in saying like blaming like everybody else, like I was saying here, and people was like, why would Liv blame anybody because she caused the loss? Like they're just trying to say um, like it's just really interesting to see some of the fan discourse sometimes. But let me go ahead and answer some questions. I know I'm missing something and I can't think of it right now. Um, Cleve said, so what does this mean for Raquel and Liv and Roxanne's friendship now that they lost? It's probably going to be strained as fuck. Um, I would not put it, like I said, I wouldn't put it past it for Liv to blame everybody but herself for the loss. Um, Jacob says, I think Liv is winning the Rumble next week because Liv got the pin tonight. Like I said, momentum shifts don't really count for much now in the WWE. Because if that's the case, Roxanne got lost too. So, and Rhea and Io are still high chances even though they won. Senior said that Liv gear gave some vibe for her right gear one. Yeah, it did. It was kind of making me think of Beetlejuice too. Senior said this is the first time I'm happy with Rhea pins Liv. Yeah, I mean, I was happy because Roxanne really did get the pin. Like, I was happy for that. Jacob said all that Rhea is known for is the pop. I don't get why they do that. Well, they conditioned everybody to be a pop machine for her. That's what they would do with Dom and Liv in 2024, which was super annoying. All they would do is just be like Dom and Liv would be out there, and then all you would hear is "This is my brutality," and everybody would pop, and so they conditioned everybody just to pop for her music, and then that's it. Now she can carry her chants because she does get chants during the matches, but they condition the audience to pop. It's kind of like how the same thing with Jay's yeeting. Like they'll just have everybody yeet 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 yeet, and when you're at home, you don't be wanting to do that because why would you be eating in your living room watching this stuff? But with Rhea, it's just annoying because they'll do that, and then everybody else, if they're positioned after her, won't get any kind of motion because everybody else is cheering for her. So Like they could do the positioning better with Rhea if they're gonna just keep using her as a pop machine. Like put her last. It's like how Rhea came out and then all of a sudden Lash Legend was out. And that was just so. I felt so bad for Lash Legend at Survivor Series last year because she was the last one out. Like Lash should have been like one of the first few to come out. So by the time Rhea came out there, the audience wouldn't blow its load on just cheering for Rhea. You see what I mean? But instead, Lash got got pin like pin drops. You could hear a pin drop because everybody just spent all their energy with Rhea. Cleve says Liv. So Liv taking a pin. Does that mean she wins Rumble this year? Not necessarily. And I'm not saying this as a hater. I'm just saying like as someone um, who looks at odds and things like that. Like I haven't seen the rumors like it was with Charlotte last year. Charlotte last year with Dirt Sheet, and you know me, I say take it with a grain of salt. But there was a lot more rumors around Charlotte winning than Liv winning at this point. And I'm just saying it. And then there's also the Bianca thing. Like if Bianca shows back up, I think she would have a lot more higher chance of showing up and winning than Liv. Um, uh, Jacob says, "Do you know how long Dom has been IC champ, even though he hasn't made one single appearance on WWE TV?" He's been the champ since Survivor Series, so November, December, January. So it's been going into his third month, but this is his second reign. His first reign was from WrestleMania to November, which was what was it? April, May, June, July, August, September, October. So that's about 7 months. So combined, it's been almost a year at this point for Dom. Senora said Liv took the pin. Reminded me last year when Dom also took the pin before Royal Rumble last year. Yeah, see, it doesn't really, yeah, it doesn't always necessarily track like a win here. Um, Senora said, why Michael Cole didn't mention anything about the slap 2 months ago too? See, that's the thing. Like, there's some missing gaps here. While I'm happy he's actually bringing up some history here, he's still missing some of the gaps. Like, why didn't he bring up the slap? And why is he talking about, oh, Liv is taking care of Dom? I'm like, since when? That hasn't been intimated on WWE TV or social media. Like, this is one of those things where you're creating shit again, and I'm like, huh? Like, no. If it was actually put on TV or put on social, then yeah, no problem. Senora says, my pick next Saturday is Bianca. Liv's got her opportunity at Elimination Chamber. See, here's the also thing with Bianca. Bianca has a ready-made story with Jade. Liv going with Stephanie just straight up is no story. The story with Stephanie is with Raquel. So if you do Liv versus Stephanie, what's the story? And remember, this has to carry us all the way to WrestleMania in April. So that's like 3 months almost. So what's the story? The story would be better if it was Raquel and Liv. Like Raquel wins the title, then it's Liv. And if you want to do a triple threat match with Stephanie, you can throw that in there too. But Stephanie has a nice heated feud with Raquel, so it tracks. So if you want to do a triple threat match where it's Liv, Raquel, and Stephanie, then it makes sense. But just Liv and Stephanie straight up doesn't make sense. Jacob says, what are they doing with Tony D in NXT? I don't know, but since he got arrested, I'm hoping John bails him out and he can pull Tony D to the main roster. That's my main hope and wish at this moment. Because I want to see that jailhouse call that Tony D does, and it's to Dom, and Dom bails him out, and he becomes an enforcer for Dom. That's what I want. Jacob says, Other than the Judgment Day, what do you expect from Raw? I don't know. Probably some more talk from CM Punk. Probably something regarding Braun Breaker, which will be boring. Then we'll see Natty and Maxine, possibly, and then Lucha Brothers 2.0, which is why Penta should be turning on. Not Penta. This is why Ray Phoenix should be turning on Penta, because how you gonna leave your brother on SmackDown while you team with Dragon Lee? So you probably got that too in the vision. So I don't know what Finn is going to do. I kind of want Finn to be like maybe try and do something else to get a rematch with CM Punk, something like that. Continue his momentum. Um, Jacob says thoughts on the Shield. They were okay, then they just ran their course. I had no pony in it either way. So, Senor says, do you think JD comes back after Dom turns on Finn? He probably will. It just depends on the length of time for his injury. I don't know how long it was. I just know he had the surgery. So we don't know how long he'll be out. Um, Jacob says, I think we're getting three-way for the WWE title at Mania. Yeah, we probably are. Jacob says, remember the Rumble starts at 2 p.m. like next week. Yeah, that's like early start on Saturday. Cozy Go says, what happens to the Vision next Monday? I don't know. They bore me to death, so I don't know. They're probably doing something where they, probably use Penangle, Scrap Daddy, Adam Pierce to do something, but it's just so boring. Like, I really don't care. Austin Theory is still looking like he's fresh out of prison. Braun Breaker should be doing something else. I give zero fucks about Logan Paul. And Braun Breaker, I really don't care about either, so it is what it is. Jacob says, what if Tony D joins Judgment Day? I've been advocating for that for months and a year at this point. I am missing something, and it is aggravating to me, and I'm going to find out what it is. Um, oh gosh, I keep forgetting. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And I got some questions here on the YouTube, and it's not picking up. 1 second. Um, just 1 second here. Six Pack says, how long do you think the Usos will keep the tag team championships? I don't know. Whatever depends on when Jimmy gets back. But who would they lose it to? Um, Caleb says, I hope Dom chooses Roxanne as an on-screen couple. I mean, that gives you the potential for more drama. I mean, and I'm all about drama. Y'all know me. I like toxicity and drama. And I think that is it. I am missing something. We'll have Raw on Monday, and we will see what happens. I am missing missing something. I am missing something, and it's bugging the crap out of me. I am going to figure it out. Let's see here. I did say that Trick Williams has to be a student of Dominic Mysterio because that man sold when Sami Zayn spat on him when he was talking to him, and the way Trick Williams looked at Sami after that, I'm like, oh yeah, he's been studying Dominic. The Liv versus Bianca fans are just going crazy at the moment, and I am staying out of that fight. I do expect Finn to turn face like around Royal Rumble or after, like right after Royal Rumble. Mm, what am I missing? What am I missing? See, this is why I write everything down. Jacob says thoughts on Kit Wilson's things. I like it. It's a bop. Let's see here. Thank you for the likes. I think I'm gonna wind this down, but I am trying to see. Oh my gosh. Okay. I should get an ad there. Okay. Let's see here. Bear with me. Your thoughts on WWE 2K26? I don't know. I do say they're going to do the Attitude Era with that, so, or at least WWF versus the WCW. Yeah, I got another one. Six Pack says, "What is that Drew interfered in Jacobs and Cody's match? I think he was just trying to take somebody out, but it just seemed weird that he let them brawl all over the place, only to Then get Jacob and Cody. It was kind of weird. Um, let's see. Richardson says, so does Raquel have a good chance of winning the title and facing Liv at Mania? I hope she does. That's what I'm hoping for. Like I said, I think she needs to do, or at least get a title, at least for, at least for a couple of months. Like if she just gets it for a couple of months, then she gets it for a couple of months and then she loses to Liv. Okay, fine, I get that. But at least she would be a champion, at least a world champion. Man, dang, that snow is going crazy right now, or at least the ice. Hope y'all are staying warm. Um, Six Pack says, "Do you see Sammy beating Drew or an interference from Cody and Jacob?" I actually think Sammy beats Drew at WrestleMania. I'm not sure how Sammy gets to WrestleMania now that he's won this 4 pack challenge, but I think that's what he is. What I actually think happens is that he might lose at the Royal Rumble in his match, but then he enters in the Royal Rumble and enters the Royal Rumble that way since they're in Saudi Arabia. That's what I think. And let's see. Jacob says, "What if Raquel wins the title at Elimination Chamber, loses the title at Mania?" See, yeah, I can see that happening too. I mean, is it ideal for Raquel? Not really, but at least I said, at least she would be a world champion. And I just got an alert, and I have no idea where that came from. Yeah, I do. What I really hope for is maybe that they announce like Stephanie versus Raquel at the Royal Rumble, where Raquel could win it at the Royal Rumble, and then she just doesn't enter into the Royal Rumble, and then that's when you could see maybe Liv winning the Royal Rumble for that. But or if they want to continue on like the animosity, you could have Liv lose there after Raquel wins, and then she'll win Elimination Chamber. Um, Richardson says, "I'm sorry if I'm not seeing like the full part of it." Jude Richardson. I noticed Liv hit her finisher and her finisher and did not see with Rhea tagging the match. Yeah, see, I think she got so focused on EO that she didn't notice Rhea, and that's one of those things of things coming to bite her in the ass. So she wasn't expecting it, and that's why I'm saying like they could use she could like put the blame on everything by herself. Like she could probably say like maybe Roxanne should have been looking out for that, but Roxanne was couldn't see it because she was crawling to the corner, and then Raquel had been fighting Stephanie. So that's pretty much on Liv at that moment. And I really wish I knew who did that little bling there. I hate that I don't see my little pop-ups there. Jacob says I still want a face to face between Liv and Sherilyn in the future. Maybe. So Jacob says, who do you think Don will drop the IC title? Not title to, if not Finn, then who? I wouldn't mind Javon Evans. Like I said, I wouldn't mind Javon. I wouldn't mind Dragon Lee. Penta, I don't know. I don't care at this point, at particular moment. Like, at this point, Dom dropping the title doesn't bother me because he's had a really good length of reign about it. See, the time when they could get the title, I didn't like it because it was short at that moment. But now, um, I don't mind him losing it because, um, he's had it for a while. I keep hearing. You said, oh, oh. Richardson says you can see Liv, Raquel, and Roxanne going to the backstage and what happened in the match. Where is that? Is that posted on the X right now or on social? Oh, Juice says no on Raw. Oh, I mean, yeah, they could do. They could in the backstage. That's why I was saying like it could be like Liv just being mad at everybody, and everybody else is like, oh no, what the heck? Let's see. Is Rhea really doing a tiny motion compared? You know what, girl? Like you were with him for a year. It didn't bother you then. Just saying. Why is Andrade stripping? You know what? Never mind. Oh, Raquel was looking nice in her outfit too. I wanted to mention that. Um, I think that's it. Might have to see if I can run this back for Royal Rumble. Maybe do something. Maybe do this live Royal Rumble. Maybe. I have to think about it. Jacob says, I don't think Dom will be there Monday. I don't think so either. I think he'll be a Royal Rumble surprise. And Jacob says, I love what they are, but Gunther, I find Gunther boring because I think he's trying too hard. He's kind of like MJF with me. And I think that is it. Yep, I think that's it. I thank y'all all for joining me, liking it, and help thanking me and being patient while I treat this experimental live stream, especially when I'm not doing any gaming right now. So you get to see the nice bars here. Um, I'll be back on Monday for Monday Night Raw review. Then, of course, I will be back for the Royal Rumble. I am still trying to decide if I want to do this live or just do like a live review with a Royal Rumble. I might do that, and then we'll see how it goes. Khalib says Dom and Liv are still distancing themselves from each other. Yes, I know people will say, well, Liv was wearing Dom's like wings on her boots and yada yada yada, but it's something odd there. I'm not sure what. It's just odd. Like compare Dom and Liv to what Stax and Adriana Grace are doing in NXT. Compare Dom and Liv to what Becky and Seth are doing and what AJ Lee and ACM Punk are doing. Now, I know they all have different vibes and different couples, but something's odd. I'm not sure what. I can't pinpoint it because, Dom, like I said, I think Dom does just enough to just keep up appearances, and that's just my opinion on it. And that's it. I thank y'all all for joining me. Thank you for liking me. Thank you all for being the guinea pigs in this experiment. I'll be back on Monday, and then I will talk to you guys on Saturday. Still trying to decide if I want to run this on Saturday, but I might. kind of like it. I just need to fine tune some things on these layouts because it's kind of still wonky and things like that. But until next time, I bid you all adieu. I will check you guys later. Bye bye for now. And y'all stay safe out there. If you're in the states where a lot of ice, like right now I'm in Texas and we're getting snow and ice, stay safe, stay warm. Have a good night, y'all.